Greetings, fellow Godless Rockers. I'm Steve.
And I'm Tally from
Monster on Sunday!
In this week's Independence Day BAM vlog, we'll talk about free thinking and how freedom of thought is so important for us in today's world. So stay tuned for episode 21 of
Godless Rockers. So Independence Day is a few days away, and we all know the fervor it brings out here in America. Dudes with monster trucks covered with Jesus bumper stickers and the American flag proudly flapping in the wind. Well, today we'll discuss what Independence Day means to us, non-religious people out there.
That's right. Let's take a moment to see the American Independence Day fervor and the ridiculous way in which people insist that this holiday is fully God-ridden.
This is happening everywhere across our nation, and in the true spirit of freedom, we'd like to dispel this dumbass American ritual. So let's begin with Thomas Jefferson, who had the balls to create his own edited version of the Bible, the Life and Morals of Jesus of Nazareth, commonly referred to as the Jefferson Bible.
That's right. Thomas Jefferson chopped out the parts of the Bible that are unverifiable. And in the spirit of freedom, let's talk about this idea of freedom, the true meaning of the term, and discuss what we, along with what most atheists, would consider true freedom, and that would be mental freedom, as Bob Marley famously commemorated in a song.
Emancipate yourselves from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our mind.
None but
Have no fear for atomic energy.
So the ultimate freedom is thinking for yourself, also known as free thinking. Most of us like to think that we are free thinkers, thinking for ourselves, but it goes a bit deeper.
So, free thought is a philosophical viewpoint which holds that positions regarding truth should be formed on the basis of logic, reason, and empiricism, rather than authority, tradition, revelation, or other dogma. In particular, free thought is strongly tied with rejection of traditional religious belief. The cognitive application of free thought is known as free thinking, and practitioners of free thought are known as free thinkers.
Cool. And you may not be aware, but I'm a huge history buff, and I think it's an interesting fact to note that the term free thinking first came to use in the 17th century in order to indicate people who inquired into the basis of traditional religious beliefs.
This term has been around a long time. Just a little more specific detail from Wikipedia. Free thinkers hold that knowledge should be grounded in facts, scientific inquiry, and logic. The skeptical application of science implies freedom from the intellectually limiting effects of confirmation bias, cognitive bias, conventional wisdom, popular culture, prejudice, or sectarianism.
So you're likely getting the picture now, that there's probably not so much free thinking going on in regards to religious beliefs.
That's right. So just for fun, we asked the question, free thinking, why is it important, on Facebook, and we got some excellent replies. Here's our favorites. William said, reality dares anyone to sincerely attempt to argue against free thinking. Tony said, no belief is sacred. Knowledge is belief that conforms to reality. Free thinkers don't buy appeals to ignorance or special pleading. Every argument for religion is some variation of one or the other. Brandon said, because dick jokes are an art form. And finally, Chris said, consider the opposite, closed-minded thinking.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a moment. Closed-minded thinking can lead a person to take people, books, media, and articles on their word with no investigation about if the information is actually true. It's a scary thing, this idea of mindlessly following. There are so many pitfalls that we humans can have, from religious dogma, which divides humanity and instigates war and atrocities, to anti-vaccines, which harm babies, children, and those who come in contact with them. There are so many ways we can be taken for a ride. And there is a never-ending list of shysters out there ready and waiting to take advantage of our minds.
And thank you, by the way, to everyone for your interesting and fun comments. Bottom line is that free thinking is a state of allowing your mind to be as free as possible of beliefs and worldviews that may not be based in reality.
Yes, and the only way to live successfully and happily in a world filled with false information is to be free thinkers. Our minds are the most powerful tool we have. Let's use our minds to ask those important, critical thinking questions so that together we can create a better world for tomorrow's generations.
And as Thomas Jefferson so wisely said, we cannot have a society half slave and half free, nor can we have thought half slave and half free. If we create an atmosphere in which men fear to think independently, inquire fearlessly, express themselves freely, we will in the end create the kind of society in which men no longer care to think independently or to inquire fearlessly.
So that concludes our Independence Day episode, Free Thinking, Why It Is Important. Let us know why you're a free thinker below.
Tune in next week where we'll talk about WDJD. What does Jesus do?
Check out last week's vlog, Atheism and Activism, right here.
And click here to visit our store where you can get music, merch, and more.
Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe so you never miss an episode. See you next Sunday at noon.
We're
Monster on Sunday.
Thanks for joining us on
Godless Rockers.